Yeah, this that entrepreneurial conversation where ideas flip the hustle into elevation. No filters, no cap, just lessons in motion. Pull up, lock in, this entrepreneurial conversation. Yeah.
So, entrepreneurs, especially to my new entrepreneurs, would you believe me if I told you the missing key component to your marketing strategy is word of mouth? Because I know since you are a new entrepreneur, you are told all you need is social media, right? But is that really the fastest path to your growth? Because you got to understand, before Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, businesses had to build almost entirely through referrals, which is what? Word of mouth, right? So is social media overrated, or is word of mouth still the ultimate marketing strategy? But we're going to get into that. But you know what time it is, guys. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising to all my investors and stuff out there, man. Thank y'all for coming through, tuning into another episode of the Entrepreneurial Conversation. And today we're going to have a great conversation. The topic at hand we're going to be talking about is the advantages of word of mouth, especially when it comes to our new entrepreneurs out here trying to make their way through entrepreneurship. But other than that, guys, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. If you are watching this playback of the show, might as well say pre-recorded of the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the Invest Media, guys. Invest Media. And also hit that notification bell and hit all so you can be notified with anything that new drop on this channel. And also make sure you invest in hitting that like button, guys. It's free to invest in hitting that like button. And also hype this video up, guys. Hype it up so we can get into the algorithm and have great conversation floating through the algorithm, man. This is what it's all about. But other than that, guys, man, hopefully y'all tuned in to this past Friday Sidebar Convo radio show. The title was The Power of the Tongue, basically giving you a 10-minute breakdown of what this show is going to be about. Hopefully y'all tuned in to that, checked it out, and hopefully y'all got something from this and got an understanding so y'all can be prepared and ready for the show, man, because we're going to have another great conversation talking about word of mouth and what have you, because you got to understand word of mouth nowadays, especially since we got social media. It's like word of mouth is foreign to people because they feel like all I need to do is get on social media, get on these platforms, and I will be able to be successful overnight, what have you. And it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, we have algorithm. Unfortunately, we have people who really don't know about you. So you have to do your due diligence as an entrepreneur and make sure you build that right foundation, put the systems in play so you can be able to get within that algorithm, get in front of the eyes of the people that you are trying to market and try to help with your businesses, your services, with your product, whatever you have to offer as an entrepreneur, guys. But other than that, man, I don't want to hold y'all too long. And like I said, today, man, topic we're going to be talking about is the advantages of word of mouth, guys. So what is word of mouth, guys? What is word of mouth? Word of mouth is customers becoming your sales team. And you got to understand that's very important, right? To have customers, your recurring customers, they're going to be your sales team because they're going to sell your products for you, your services for you. Because like I said multiple times, people love to talk about what makes them feel good, what makes them feel happy. They love to talk about their experience that they had with a person, a company, with a product, with the services, whatever that makes them happy. They love to share the gospel of that, right? They love to share that because at the end of the day, guys, guess what? That's going to help you in the long run because it's going to bring more people in because they want to feel good too. They want to feel that experience that this person is selling to them, right? So your customers definitely is going to become your sales team, especially when you build the community of people, the people that's within your brand community, right? They definitely going to be your customers. They definitely going to be the mouthpiece that you need to help push your brand to the next level and what have you, right? Another thing is recommendations carry trust that ads can't buy. See, ads come through more as you trying to sell something to somebody and they really don't trust it because of the words on that ad, or if it just don't come across as authentic as a person that's recommending your products, recommending your services because they have experience with it, right? They have bought your products before. They have bought your services before and what have you, so they can recommend it to somebody and let them know what their experience was, right, and what how it made them feel and what they got out of it, right. And then you and that's one of the biggest things that is always going to help you and help build trust of your products, of your services, is through other people recommending your services and what have you. So that's very important, and you got to understand that what ads ain't go what ads can't do, your recommendations gonna definitely do for you, right? Because like I said, ads is something that come across to majority of the people as somebody trying to sell something to you. Either it's products, either it's they services and what have you, right? It comes across as not, it doesn't feel authentic, like somebody letting them know or recommending your services and your products and what have you, right? Another thing is people are more likely to spend money when someone they know recommends a business, right? So that's definitely going to help you gain customers, right? Because people going to be more reluctant to spend money with somebody that's recommending service, because it's the trust factor. Because if they see somebody who's a reputable person, somebody they really hold to the high regard, somebody that they really trust, so by somebody having that great rapport with somebody, that's going to lead to a sale for you. Because at the end of the day, that's like one of your longtime friends, that's like your family member, your brother, or if it's one of your female friends, it's like your sister and what have you, and they recommend a service, recommend a product, you're going to buy it, right? You're not going to be skeptical about it because you hold this person's opinions and what they say to the high regards, right? So you have a built-in trust with them, so you know they're not going to tell you anything that's going to harm you, cause you to lose money and what have you. So you're going to trust it. So you're going to go all in, and you're going to take a chance on that product, that service, whatever they recommend it to you. You're gonna take a chance on it, because that helps a lot from a person that has a great rapport with you, that you trust their word, right? Every word that they say, you trust it, because they have been trustworthy. They have followed through up on their word, and when they tell you something, it comes to fruition, right? Their word is very valuable in your eyes and what have you, right? But it's always two sides to a coin, right? So is advantages. Here go the advantages. I'm gonna give you the advantages of word of mouth, and I'm also gonna give you the downside of word of mouth, because I don't want to make you seem like it's not any downside to word of mouth. It's not disadvantages to word of mouth, because it is, right? So I'm gonna give you the advantages of word of mouth, right? The advantages of word of mouth is higher trust than paying advertising, right? Like I said, through trusted people, it's going to help a lot. Like I said, when you have people out here that others respect, they respect their word, they value their word, their opinions, and what have you. That's going to help you. Trust going to sell faster than advertising your products and your businesses, right? Then it's almost free marketing, because when you have people marketing your services and your products and your business, right, through their experience, right, that's definitely going to help you. Like I said, when a person have a reputation within a circle, or within a area, or within their surroundings, or within their environment, right, that's going to help you, because people trust them. So it's almost like free marketing. People through word of mouth and people within your community, that's going to help you market whatever you have to offer, right? Because they want to see other people happy. They want to see other people experience what they went through, and how you are making them feel, how your product and services is making them feel and what have you, right? And it creates loyal and long-term customers, right? Like I said, people going to be loyal to something that they can trust. They're going to be loyal to something that they benefiting from, right? So why would you change that? Why would you go in another direction? And when you are in good hands, when you can trust somebody, because y'all done built up this rapport, because you now are a recurring customer, right? That turns into a loyal customer, right? So you already got this good rapport with the brand owner or the owner of the business. It's no real reason to go other way in another direction, especially if they are fulfilling your need, fulfilling and they solving the problem that you are having and what have you, right? So it creates loyalty and long-term customers. Another thing, it brings in people who are already pre-sold on your business. Like I said, when you have people out there marketing and that's very trustworthy, that have great rapport with people, right? And people can trust, people are already pre-sold on your business, right? So all they have to do now is come in and buy your services, buy your product and what have you. They already pre-sold on it through the person that they highly respect, or the person that went through that experience the first time with you, second time with you, the third time with your business and what have you, right? So that goes a long way, guys. And another thing, it brings a strong local reputation, right? So when you are building a strong reputation within your area and within your environment, it's definitely going to help you, right? Because people love somebody with a good reputation. When you got a good reputation, that also make people trust you faster, even more, because they know you stand on business. You are about your business. You stand on every word. You follow through, and you execute on whatever you have said you was going to do, right? So that's what's good, man. Building a strong local reputation through word of mouth, because word of mouth, things travel fast, right? When people are talking about something that good, it travels fast, almost faster than social media, right? Within that area. I'm not saying as a whole through the whole United States or the world, just in that local. That's what builds strong local reputation, right? So we talking about within your local environment, right? So that your word of mouth is going to travel even a lot faster there than social media would on a local stage of things, right? Another thing is better customers retention, because referrals often become repeat buyers, right? So when you gain better customers, right, you're going to have retention automation system set up so you can be able to capture customers, which is going to give you referrals to other people, gonna refer other people to your business, to your services, right? So that's what's so key about it, man, is gaining recurring customers, right? You want customers to come back, because recurring customers is a lot more easier than you trying to go find new customers, because you have to build up that trust factor with new customers, whereas repeated customers, you already have that built-in rapport now that you have built over time after them buying from you several times, right? So that's what's so good about it, guys. So that is the advantages of word of mouth. I'm going to do the downside of word of mouth, but I'm also want to talk about the advantages of social media too, because I want to give you two sides of the coin. The advantages of social media would be, the massive reach beyond your hometown. Like I said, there's a difference between local reach and hometown. Local reach and outside beyond your hometown, because like I said, word of mouth is going to travel faster within the local area than social media would, right? Social media is good if you're trying to go outside of your hometown, outside of your environment. You want to hit different states, different countries. You want to let everybody know that you are serving, what you are filling in the void that they are missing and what they need, right? In social advantage, media is ability to build a personal brand alongside your business. This definitely gives you the ability to build your personal brand. And sometimes some entrepreneurs will prefer you to build your personal brand first, which will help you get your brand business started, right? Once you build up your personal brand, people know who you are. You build that trust factor, that good rapport with them, good understanding. You got the community flowing, and that's when you can drop like, hey, I'm about to start my brand line now, clothing of this and that and what have you, or different type of products. It's going to make it a whole lot easier, right? Then another thing, social media is low cost marketing compared to traditional advertising. So those are some of the advantages in allows customers to see your personality and story. And people love to see somebody who's authentic. They like to see your authenticity, right? When it comes to your social media, right? That's how you get people to definitely trust you on social media, when they see how authentic you are, right? And also through your story, because people like to be able to relate to something that they may have gone through, or somebody that they know, or they're going through currently right now, right? People love a story, and that's going to definitely help you gain customers, because now you are relatable. They can relate to something that you have gone through, the struggles you went through, so they want to support you, right? Another thing, the advantage is they create general leads 24/7, right? Especially if you got it set up right, and your marketing is on point on social media and what have you, right? Your ads, you can generate leads 24/7. And another thing, it makes it easier to educate customers before the buy, right? Before they buy, right? Which is true, right? So you can always make tutorial videos, reels, and what have you, educating them on your products, educating them on your services and what have you. So that is advantage of social media, right? That you can use. So you're going to use word of mouth in a different type of part when it comes to you trying to push your brand, your business, your services, what have you, versus you using social media, right? Social media you might want to use to, if you want to reach people outside of your local town, you want to use social media to bring people in, so you can build your personal brand. People can see how authentic you are, who you are, and you can show people your story and what have you, right? So that's much easier to do, right? Another thing, okay, here go the downside of word of mouth, right? Here go the downside of word of mouth. Downside of word of mouth, the growth can be slower, right? And a lot of times we are in an era where people want the microwave results, but word of mouth moves a lot slower, because first it got to start within your environment, within your circle of people, right? As they continue to buy, trust you, they're going to spread the word wherever they travel at, wherever they work at, wherever they go on vacation. They're going to start spreading the word about your business, and it's going to move a lot slower, right? But at the same time, this is it's a marathon, not a race, right? This is a long term. You're in this for a long term. So word of mouth, that's that's one of the downsides of it. The growth is slower rather than on social media and what have you, right? Another thing, you can't completely control who talks about your business, and that's true. You can't control who talk about your business, right? You have some people that may not even bought anything from you, don't even really know your products or your services. You might have people out here talking badly about your business because of someone else that may had a misunderstanding with you, right? Or somebody that may just try to sabotage your business. They spreading false information about your services and your business, right? So that's what you can't control who talks about your business, because you never know who's talking about your business, right? Another thing is, one bad customer experience can spread just as quickly as a good one. And that's the thing about it. You in the business, right? Yes, you're gonna have some customers that may feel like that they're not satisfied with your services, they're not satisfied with your product. Anything can happen. They can get a defective one. It could have been a bad time. It could be anything. But at the end of the day, that customer experience, by them just spreading the word of how bad their experience with you was, your product and what have you, can spread fast, and that can potentially hurt you from getting future customers. That can hurt you because sometimes, depending on who it is, that can make people who are recurring customers stop shopping with you, right? Just off of that one misunderstanding, that one mishap, that they didn't let you or try to let you make it right and what have you. So one bad customer experience can spread faster, just as social media as a good one can. So you got to understand that, guys. So those are some downsides of word of mouth. And another thing is harder to scale without systems in place. So that's the key thing. You want to make sure you have systems in place, especially when you're going through word of mouth, using word of mouth as your marketing strategy. You definitely want to have systems put in place to where it's going to work on your behalf. It's going to be effective on your behalf, where it's going to help you in your business, right? Gain customers, gain attraction, and what have you. So you want to be able to scale your business through word of mouth. You want to make sure you have the proper systems in place to help you do that if you're using word of mouth as your marketing strategy, right? Another thing is, I'm going to give you the downside of social media, because I gave you the downside of word of mouth, because I just want new entrepreneurs to understand, yes, we putting word of mouth back into the equation, right? But I don't want you to solely feel like I'm telling you just do word of mouth. I want to give you the both sides of the coin on social media and word of mouth, but this is solely pertain to the advantages of word of mouth, because I want you to get a clear understanding what word of mouth is and what social media, as some entrepreneurs is probably using right now, to give you a clear understanding. Word of mouth is still ultimate marketing strategy that you can use, because a lot of times we neglect word of mouth because we in the social media era, and the first thing we are told, or we have this misconception that social media is end all be all. We don't need word of mouth now because we have social media, and it's going to change everything. You don't even need anybody telling about your products and nothing, because you have a social media platform that you can do it on and what have you, right? So the downside of social media, which would be algorithm constantly change, which we all know is hard to get into the algorithm. You definitely got to be consistent every day, as it change mostly every day. One of your videos posts can go viral, in the next minute you do the same post and it won't get any likes, no hits, no views, and what have you, right? And another thing is, chasing likes doesn't always produce paying customers like word of mouth does, right? So when you have word of mouth, you have people who already experience your products, people who already experience your services. So it's going to be a whole lot easier through word of mouth to obtain paying customers, because of the trust and respect from that person. Word that they value is going to make them buy from you, right? Because they trust you, they trust them, and what have you, right? And viral doesn't always equal profitability, right? Because it doesn't, right? Because you go viral doesn't mean you about to make a profit, you about to make all this money, right? So it's a misconception. So word of mouth is always going to be something you turn to, because as the day social media goes down, guess what you still have? You still have word of mouth. Word of mouth is still around. You still can get your products out there. You still can get it may move a lot slower, a whole lot slower, because social media is down. It might move a whole lot slower through word of mouth, but at the end of the day, it's still getting around. People still are going to find out about your brand, find out about your services, your products, and what have you, whatever you're doing as an entrepreneur, right? Another thing is, many entrepreneurs spend more time creating content than serving customers, right? So if you are a person to get caught up in the content instead of serving customers, meaning you want to serve the customer things that they need, things that they are missing, things that is benefiting them, right? You are filling a void by serving your customer the things that they need to become to feel good, to feel better, and what have you, right? Whatever your customer, whatever you have going, that when it comes to your products, your services, whatever you're doing, um, this is what when it comes to serving your customer, you definitely want to serve, because at the end of the day, creating content isn't going to satisfy your customers. Creating just content, focus on just creating content, isn't going to keep your customers around, right? Creating content isn't going to create recurring customers. Serving your customer things that they need, things that they are looking for, things that is filling the void, things that are solving problems for them, right? It's going to be better than you just making content, because your content is not going to give you paying customer. Yes, it's going to attract potential customers to your site to look at what you have to offer. But if you're not serving them things that they need, want, it's not going to help them, then they're going to leave within 3 seconds off or from your site, right? And another thing is, it's easy to compare yourself to others and lose focus, right? And that's the thing about social media. When it comes to social media, a lot of people see what other people are doing, right? And they lose focus because they steady try to compare their self as an entrepreneur to another entrepreneur who already been doing this, who's successful, that's on a whole nother level, right? Like I said before in another episode of the Entrepreneurial Conversation, is it's nothing wrong with you looking at that person as the standard. The problem happens when you start to compare. It's two different things. Looking at somebody as the standard, because this is where you want to reach the pinnacle of where they at, right? Versus you could start comparing yourself and where you at versus this other entrepreneur, right? So you got to understand that. So which one produce better customers, right? So which one produce better customers, right? Referral customers usually come in with trust already established, right? Because they refer customers, right? They already talk to the person who they hold in a high regards, who they trust every word from. They might as well, I don't want to say trust every word, because even though you like a person, you trust this person, you don't trust every word, but you value their words, right? So you know that you can trust them when they say this is a good service, this is a good product that make you want to go and buy, right? So referral customers usually come in with trust already established. So it's like built in, established off the strength of another person that they highly respect, right? And the thing about it is, social media customers often need more nurturing before buying. Yes, because they skeptical. They don't know you. All they see is you trying to sell them something. They don't actually, until they start to see or start to gain a little trust for you, that they see that you are serving them, right? Something that they've been missing. You are filling the void. You have something that is a solution that is solving a problem. But as right now, they don't see it in that way because they haven't had that. They don't have that trust. So you have to nurture them up to that trust point to where they will come to your site, or they already been to your site a couple of times. They just were skeptical about it, right? But now, since they have a little bit of trust, it makes that may be just enough for them to buy something from you, to turn them into a customer and potentially become a recurring customer, right? Especially if they like the experience that they got from you, right? Another thing is, will you rather have 10 loyal customers, right? 10 loyal referral customers, or 10,000 followers who never purchase? So you got to understand that. Would you rather have 10 loyal referral customers or 10,000 followers never purchase from you? Because understand, you can have, put it like this, you can have 1 million followers, but they never purchase nothing from you. You can have 1 million followers and say, for instance, only 5 of them purchase something from you, right? So I'd rather have 10, 20, referral customer than a large following, because at the end of the day, those referred customers going to bring in more customers, potential customers, right? And they're going to be turn into recurring customers, right? So that's what's important, guys, is the focus is focusing on getting paying customers, recurring customers, customers that's going to come and they're going to immerse themselves within your community because you are serving them, right? You're not just giving them content. You're not just giving them anything. You are serving them things that they need, right? Things that they actually want, right? The next thing is why the best businesses use both. So this is the reason why. So as a new, like I said, as a new entrepreneur, you don't want to just throw social media out the window, because I said the missing key component to your marketing strategy is word of mouth, right? Because they both can be used, but you got to know how to set it up. You got to know how to use them so it can be effective for you, right? Can be the best for you, right? So why best business use both, right? Because great service creates what? Word of mouth. People, like I said, people like to talk about things that are great. So if your service is great, right? Your customer service is great, right? Your products is great, right? People going to talk about it, right? People going to, because you got to understand, we live in the world today. People love to share their experience with happiness, right? Whatever made them feel good, whatever made them feel happy, they love to share that, their experience, because they want people to experience the same thing just like them, right? So just off of word of mouth and people sharing their great experience with your company, it's going to lead to people coming to your site, buying something from you, or requesting your services and what have you, right? And social media amplified those success stories. And like I said, you can use them in different ways. You can use word of mouth can be used to promote and market your great products and your services, and the success stories that you get from people who become your customers, the experience that they're happy about. This is what you share on social media to amplify their reviews, to amplify the stories that they share with you, how they felt when they experienced your products, right? So this is what, so like I said, they can be used in both different ways and to work for you, right, effectively, right? So another thing is encourage happy customers to leave reviews and share their experience, right? So, these are the things that's gonna help you right here. Happy customers, what they say, like they like the saying is what a happy wife, a happy life. A happy customer is a happy business, right? A business that's gonna be here for the long haul, long term, longevity, whatever you want to call it, right? Because happy customers definitely going to leave reviews. Like I said, they want to let everybody know, the world know, how great they felt after using your services or using your products, right? And people love to share their experience. People share their experience every day on social media, right? Whether, they experience a nice vacation, nice area, they experience a nice restaurant, right? They experience a nice place they went to, a nice club and what have you, whatever their experience was, and they experience it. People share it all day long on social media, right? Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I don't know what happened to my phone. But I am back. What I was saying, turn testimonies into social content, and that's what's very important. That's what I said at the beginning of this. The word of mouth, through word of mouth, people testimonies, right? You can take that, and that's what you use to amplify the success stories within social media, right? You take is through the testimonies of people, right? And that's what's going to help you turn those testimonies into social content, and that's going to help either speed up the process, the trust factor process, where people come and they build trustworthy between you and a potential customer, what have you, the people that's within social media, right? And when they see the testimonies and they see how good people are talking about your business, your services, or just not even that, talking about the experience that they have, what made them feel good, why do they feel good from this experience of your products or your services, what have you. This is what definitely is going to help you guys. This is what's very important to understand, that turn testimonies into social content. So both word of mouth and social media work hand to hand. You can use them in different ways, right? So I'm, like I said, to my new entrepreneurs, I'm not saying neglect social media, but also take advantage of word of mouth. Just don't neglect word of mouth. Don't let people tell you word of mouth is old, is outdated, word of mouth is too slow, and what have you. Word of mouth is still ultimate strategy for you to use, right? Definitely put that back into your equation if you took it out, because it goes hand in hand with social media. It works out, actually work off each other, right? What one does, what one don't do, the other one do, right? So it works hand in hand. So this is, it gives you a balance. You're not just depending solely on one thing. You have two things, word of mouth and social media, to work with, right? So that's the beauty of it, guys. But before we leave out here, man, this is advice for my brand new entrepreneurs out here, right? Number one, don't obsess over followers in your first year, right? Because understand, you have to build that trust with followers, right? Your followers have to feel like you have something of substance to offer them, right? You have something of substance that you are talking about, right? You have something of substance that's going to fill the void for what problem that they are having and what have you, right? So don't be obsessed with followers in the first year. Followers are going to come. Followers are going to come. They're going to go. But you got to have a direction that you are leading your followers in, right? Another thing is focus on creating experience. People can't stop talking about. Focus on creating experience that people can't stop talking about. And that's the key thing. Like I said, it's not about your products. It's not about your services. It's about the experience that people get. People going to talk about the experience, right? That's going to help promote your product and your services. People love to talk. Like I said, on social media, guys, you see every day, all day, people are sharing their experience of something in their life that made them feel good, right? So that's what's important, guys. Another thing is every satisfied customer should become a potential ambassador. And that's ambassador of your business, of your brand, what have you, because you got to understand, your customers are your hero, right? Your customers are your hero. Your customers are going to market your services, your product, your brand, your business for you, right? So your customer is your potential ambassador, guys. So don't forget that your customers are your hero. Last thing is, your reputation is your greatest marketing asset, because when you have a great reputation within your circle, your environment, that's going to spill over to other parts of, you might as well say it's going to spill over outside of your local area, your hometown, right? Your reputation goes a long way, right? When you have a great reputation amongst the people, right, they going to feel happy to help you with anything you need help with when it comes to your business, because they know at the end of the day is you going to stand on your word, and whatever you tell them and whatever you promise to them, you're going to deliver, right? So that's what's very important, guys. That's what's very, very important. But once again, man, thank y'all. Hopefully, to my new entrepreneurs out here, man, hopefully y'all definitely took advantage of this episode, and hopefully y'all take something from it. If y'all found this to be something that y'all need, if you are an entrepreneur who took word of mouth out the equation because people told you all you need was social media, let them know they lied to you, right? Let them know they definitely lied to you, because word of mouth is still something you definitely can use to your advantage today in the social media era, guys. Before any social media came about, we had to do what? Word of mouth. See, a lot of times we forget that, guys. Before Facebook, Instagram, before you start sliding in people DMs and what have you. We had to actually, as man, we had to get out here and talk to the women. We didn't have no DMs to slide in. We didn't have no instant messages and what have you. We had to get out here. We had to talk to the ladies. If we wanted to run a business, we had to get out here. We had to sell our stuff. So we had to do a lot of things through. Nah, I just do that last part, that getting out here talking to the ladies. I just threw that in there. But in all seriousness, but yeah, we had to get out here and we had to market our business through word of mouth, right? We had to do it. And you see nowadays, you had those social medias around, those entrepreneurs around that time of day, that era of time, they are successful. And they had to go through word of mouth first, right? So it can be done through word of mouth. But now you have social media. You can use both of them to your advantage. And especially when you're balancing them out and what have you, guys. So that's what's very important. But before I leave, I got a couple questions for y'all. I'm going to leave it in the description box, and I'm also going to leave it in the comment section. So let's go ahead and take advantage of this comment section. Let's start, having conversation, guys. Conversation can lead to things that can help us grow as entrepreneurs, right? So the first question is, have you ever bought something because a friend recommended, right? So that's the first question. Second question, has social media ever convinced you to try a business, right? Number 3, which do you trust more, online influencers or personal referrals? Woo, that's a big one. Online influencers or personal referrals, guys, because understand, one definitely is better than the other, guys. One is definitely better than the others, right? One is getting paid to refer a business. One is getting paid to talk good about a business, while the other one is doing the paying of the services in business. So they definitely not getting paid to talk good about it or share their experience about it, right? Last question is, if you were starting a business today with no budget, where will you focus first? What would you focus first? So like I said, I'm gonna leave these questions down in the comment section, and I'm definitely gonna leave it in the description box, guys. But other than that, man, today I want y'all to take away from this, guys. Social media may introduce people to your business, but word of mouth convinces them to trust it, right? Let me say it again. Social media may introduce people to your business, but word of mouth convince them to trust it, right? The entrepreneurs who win are the ones who give customers something worth talking about. But other than that, man, thank y'all, guys, and make sure y'all subscribe to the Invest Media, guys. Thank y'all once again, man. Yep.